In today's video, we are going to be replacing the driver's side door window motor and regulator. So we're sitting here in the driver's seat. As you can see, I need an oil change. Hopefully we will do that today. Let's turn our key on. We'll get our normal Honda beeps. Now we're going to use the switch for the driver's side window as normal operations. But you hear how grindy it is? It's kind of slow. And if I take it near the bottom, it might not come up. So sometimes I have to help the window up. See that? Just really bad. So we're gonna change it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it all the way to the top. And then we're gonna get ready to remove this door panel. I did buy this tool off of Amazon. It is a window holder. It is literally just two suction cups with a cable that you just stick from the inside or outside and inside, and it just goes over the door, and this helps your windows stay up while you get ready to change your regulators out. Here's our new parts. I purchased these from Rock Auto. This is the passenger side that I just done. You can see how jacked up it is, and we're gonna get ready to install the driver's side. First thing we're going to do is remove the Phillips head screw here. Then we're going to have two screws under this panel. We're going to remove this triangle piece, and we're going to remove our speaker cover because there's three screws under here. The tools we will be using, this is a Harbor Freight, just a trim tool. I have a 1/4-inch ratchet with a pretty long extension and a 10mm. You'll need a extension not quite this long, but you know, with a little bit of reach when you get ready to take the two bolts that hold the window regulator and motor to the window itself. And then for all your door panel stuff, we're going to be using this Phillips head, just like here, and all the other door panels bolts are, screws are Phillips head. Once you have your door handle screw removed, you literally just push it forward, and that takes the tab that's on the back kind of out, and then you're able to jiggle the panel. And then you're going to take your finger, you can see right here, you're just going to swipe. I can do this one-handed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but you're going to swipe this right here over, and that releases your rod. So I'm going to use both hands, because I need to pull the panel out and use my other finger to swipe it off or unclick it. It was literally that easy, just moving the camera out the way. And then I'm going to use, say, my middle finger to lift up on the rod, and it comes out. On your passenger side window, you're not going to have this you ain't going to have the door lock switch, but on your driver's side you do. So we're just going to undo that connector like that, and then this can be moved out of the way. Next, I'm going to go ahead and remove this triangle piece. Just going to work around it and try not to break the tab. Probably going to need to do this off camera so I don't break my tab, and I'll pick it up after that. Pretty simple, just had to keep working this around. It finally let go, and boom. This is the tab that's causing all the heartache, I guess, or headache. And then this really, from what I see, just sandwiches this connector that goes to your window. Next is we're going to move this cover. I'm going to, some videos I saw when I was doing this before was they just ripped this off. I really don't like that. I'm going to try to use this tool to pull this off, but I'm going to need two hands. It's literally just a cover. I feel much better about that one. This time I used my tool and this blade, and I stuck it in these joints here and used another prying tool just to release all these instead of just ripping this off. It made me feel a lot better about potentially not damaging that. So now we got to get our connectors off, and we need to get these bolts out. So I'm going to do that now. So I was able to get our connectors off of our door lock window switch module, I guess you can say. Pretty easy. It actually does come out of this housing, so don't be scared to just kind of assist it out. It does have some little tabs on the side that kind of holds it, but it just literally fell out as I was trying to take the connectors off. You can see one of the tabs here that you just push down this tab and then just assist it out. you can see this tab here, you help it out. So now we already got these bolts loose. Let's take our speaker cover off. Try to help pry it. So I'm gonna use this tool and work this around. Oh, there we go. As you can see, wasn't that bad. And then we have a screw here, here, and here. You do not need to take your speaker screws out. These are not needed to come out. There's actually the Phillips head, like gold screws that are factory, not like these, what do you call it, house screws that are used for these speakers. So off camera, I'm gonna get these out because I can't see what I'm doing holding the camera, and we'll pick it up from there. To my surprise, till I hit on the floor, there's only one screw holding this on. These other two were already removed. For some reason, I don't recall doing this door before, but I've owned this car for like 8 years now, I guess. Maybe longer, I don't know, many years. So maybe I did. Was in here for some reason. Next is everything is loose. You start kind of using the tab. As you can see, my screw just fell out. Or you use this tool. A lot of my tabs already kind of came loose. And you just work around the door. And then the biggest thing is you have to get over this door unlock knob, and then it kind of lifts up. So I'm gonna need two hands when I do this, because part of that is we got to disconnect our speaker, and we got to help these wires through this hole, and I don't want to be trying to hold the camera and ripping out some wiring that was unneeded. So I'm gonna put down the camera, get this door panel off, and we'll pick it back up again. I do not remember being in this door, but there's a lot of evidence showing I have in a release. Okay, so this one's gonna have the same issue that I ran into before, where the new window motor wants bolts, and there's studs on this one, which I like the studs, especially if something falls out, that the motor will stay in place. But next we're going to start using our 10mm. We won't need our Phillips head screwdriver anymore, so we're going to take out these 3 10mm, and instead of these 2 10mm, these 2, and then these are kind of the bugbears in a way. If any of them is difficult, is these are the most difficult, and they're really not. I went ahead and put our tool here, because once we pretty much remove these 2, that's what detaches this rail from the window itself, and that's when it could fall. Unlike the other window that I did, I am going to put some lubricant. I'm going to try to get something in this track, because the window gets real tight near the bottom. So maybe some lubricant down here in these tracks that literally just hold this window, or just kind of guides it, might help. All right, so let's take some nuts and bolts off. So we have our window motor and regulator out. One of the things I want to point out is disconnecting your electrical connector. It is a 4-pin. Your passenger side will be a 2-pin. So when we go to our new window regulator, it's something to pay attention to. If your connector doesn't match up, it's because you probably got the wrong side, or they sent you the wrong side, or something like that. It did have a clip here and here. I used my tool to help assist it. This one it helped, this one not so much. Old window motor regulator is the one with the studs, and then our new one from Rock Auto, and I'll try to leave a link in the bottom. I don't know how Rock Auto links over, but it might help someone guide them in. It actually uses bolts, so I'm going to dig some out of my bolts drawer. You can see what I'm saying, that 4-pin connector here, and then we got a 4-pin connector here. It does have the tab here, but does not have this tab that has like a zip tie attachment to it. Fairly simple, not too bad. Going to, this is the one, this bracket here is the one that holds your window in place. You can see this is what your window actually sits on, this ledge here, and then it bolts in through this square piece, so you can see what you're doing when you put it back in. We're probably going to have to play around with putting everything in place, and then plugging up our window motor to get that to the right height, because we have to pretty much be to the top of this hole. We got to use the window motor and regulator and match it to where our window is. So that's something to pay attention to. Don't fight it too bad. Just use the electrical connections and the resources that are available. Okay, it's not too hard. We're just going to have to orient ourselves back in. Like, you know, you don't want to put it in going this way because you're going to have it backwards. So you need to make sure that you put it in with everything facing the right direction, and it literally just slips in like kind of sideways. So all right, I'm going to do that off camera and we'll pick it back up when I'm in a good place. So we have it probably 90% installed right now, but this is a good point to talk about a few things. So first I had to go get the some nuts and bolts and washers and stuff out my bolt drawer. We hooked up our connector. We had to feed it through here. But these 4 bolts here, they have some play in it. There's some adjustment. This one's kind of solid. Can't really do too much with it. This one can kind of go up and down. It's really made to go slot in. But these can go left or right pretty far. So don't reinvent the wheel. Just put the nuts and bolts back where the other witness marks are. You can tell where it was installed previously, and just slide it over and bolt it down there. Do not just throw it in place, because that's pretty much the channel that your window's made to go up and down. So one thing I made a mistake earlier of saying, I thought our placement for the tray that holds the window up was at the top. Actually, it's at the bottom. So now we're going to have to install our switch and lift it up using our switch to get our bolt holes lined up, and then we can install really our last 2 bolts. So we have plugged up our window switch here. I have the key on. You got to have it in on position, and this is also a good chance for us to test our motor. You hear it starting to come up. Let me put y'all in place and keep moving it up until it aligns. And something like that should work. It's on the high side, but from what I found, it needs to be up there so you can get the right angle. So now let me install our bolts, and then we can do another test. And like I said, I need to lubricate this tray too to try to help as it guides. Thing is with that, you can't be put too much, because there's a chance that you'll get it all over your window and you'll be cleaning that up for months. So, but let's get some bolts in. So we have everything back in place. Really nothing big to talk about. It's just reversing everything we did. Just remember, you know, pull your electrical connectors out first. You had to hook up this rod here on this panel. This was kind of a booger. Just take your time. It kind of has some, oh, see, I don't even have it right. I'm glad we're doing the video, because it's a pain and I can't get the latch. So let me pick that back up. But you can see right there's like a where it's supposed to align. I don't know why it ain't clicking. Lesson learned on that, there's a tab that is right here. You actually got to make sure the tab folds inside the door panel, and then you kind of click it from the back forward. Once the tab's in the door panel, then everything kind of snaps in place like that. You just got to make sure all your little tabs, like right here, are in place, and then that's good. Let's turn our key on. We find the keys. So we have our key on. Let's test it. Oh, that's pretty smooth. So one of the things I did was I took WD-40 and a paper towel, and with the door panel off, of course, I just cleaned that track with just a wet WD-40. You can see where it dripped on the ground. But yeah, I think that helped tremendously on helping this door be just quieter and everything. And wiping it instead of like soaking it down from the top, you don't see any residue being left on the sides like you usually do. Okay, we're going to end this video off here. I'm about to do an oil change, and hopefully this helps somebody change their window, motor, and regulator. And on to the next one. I appreciate y'all.